There we go. Oh, this is gonna be this just got way better than just circles. So this is what it looks like from the first person perspective, which is actually kind of cool. I've never been inside of a crop circle before. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is ScrapMan bringing you another episode of Scrap Mechanic, and this is technically going to be a futuristic military base episode. We're going to work on making 1 or 2 tiles for this episode that we can put in our futuristic military base world. And now I want to start actually taking submissions for futuristic military base tiles. I've seen a lot of different requests on the videos for what kind of tiles you think would fit with the futuristic military base. So we're going to have to eventually assemble a world of tiles to build our futuristic base in, because right now we haven't actually started the base build for this exact reason. So let me know down in the comments what kind of tiles you'd like to see, and if you want to build a tile, if you have your own idea, go with that, or you can look in the comments down below to see what kind of ideas people might be looking for, and then we'll make some episodes where we actually go through different tiles. Looking at them, we can actually spawn a bunch in at the same time and explore a world filled with these tiles. And then you guys can tell me what tiles you like best. But today, we're going to focus on alien stuff. A lot of you were requesting different types of alien things because in our futuristic military base, we are kind of have the storyline of we are researching alien technology and reverse engineering it, and that's what a lot of your builds kind of represent, is like almost alien spaceship looking kind of technology. So I said that we kind of reverse engineered that stuff, and that's kind of the theme. So as far as tiles goes, alien based tiles are one thing, but we don't want too much of that. We want it to be kind of like we're on Earth and we're situated in a kind of secret area where there's some alien stuff going on, but we still want some normal tiles for the military to use as well. So keep that in mind when you're building your tiles. So as far as submitting your tiles goes, I'm actually going to have it be the same method as your creation. So click the Discord link down below if you're not already a member of the Discord. And in there will be a futuristic military base channel for you to put your Steam workshop link. So you can just put a tile workshop link, just like you put a vehicle workshop link. Just make sure that you make it public so that I can actually see it. If it's private, I won't be able to actually see it, and you have to manually change that setting after you upload it to the workshop. So for the first tile that we're going to work on, I don't know if this will take the whole episode or not. If it doesn't, then we'll start on something else, but we're going to see what happens. I'm thinking crop circles. We have the wheat field. We have the ability to place wheat wherever we want. So I'm thinking I made a large tile here. I didn't want to go extra large. It's a little too big. I think medium might be a little bit too small to get a cool looking crop circle. But I figured that we'll actually make a cool crop circle thing for us to kind of have in the map and fly over and explore. And it'll be part of the whole storyline of the futuristic military base with the alien technology. All right, so first things first, let's set our ground texture. So I'm debating on a couple of things here. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be doing quite yet, but we could just have the entire ground hay and then have the crop circle on this. Another thing I was thinking is actually having... Oh, whoops, we actually have to erase the hay in order to see the dirt. Another thing I was thinking of is the crop circles will only show up if I have foliage on. So if somebody has foliage off, the crop circle will be completely invisible and pointless. So I was thinking about a way to make the crop circle visible even if you don't have foliage turned on. And one of those ways is, what if we just have the ground be dirt, but then we actually use hay to actually mark out where the crop circles would be anyway. So let's do a quick test here. If we look for the wheat. Yeah, so I think this will work. The wheat looks pretty good on both the hay and the dirt. So that way I can have not just the crop circles cut out from the wheat, but also marked with a different type of texture like this. So that way if you don't have your foliage turned on, you'll still be able to see the crop circle like this. All right, so the hard part is how to shape the crop circle. It's actually going to be really difficult because we don't have like a way to be we don't have any symmetry modes or anything like that. So symmetry is going to be difficult. And another thing that's difficult is I cannot see the wheat from far away. I'm putting wheat down right now. Now if I zoom in, now I can see it. So I can't actually get a zoomed out perspective of the actual crop in the circles. So that's going to be a little bit difficult as well. All right, so first things first, I have filled in the entire field with wheat. And this is the hard part because I cannot see much of the crop circles as I zoom out. So I'm going to have to get like a zoomed in view here to start with. And the tough part's going to be finding the center too. All right, so I think the center is about here. So I'm going to have a relatively big circle right in the center. And all I should have to do really is just delete that. All right, so here is the beginnings of our crop circle adventure. This might actually be kind of fun. What if we do this? We go a little bit smaller, fill it back in. And then go a little bit smaller and delete it again. So now we have kind of like a ring right in the middle. All right, that looks pretty cool. I'm gonna try to make this as symmetrical as possible. So I'm gonna make a hole over here. I'm gonna try to do the same thing as close as I can over here. And then the top and the bottom as well. I wish there was a symmetry mode that we could use to do this, because that would make things so much easier for a crop circle. But we're just gonna have to guesstimate here. All right, I tried my best. It's hard to tell how well I did. I mean, I feel like it looks okay for symmetry. So now we're gonna add some more complexities to this. I'm thinking about putting a little tiny patch inside each of these. It might be kind of cool. Ooh, even a better idea. What if we do like a crescent? Oh, this could look pretty cool. All right, here's what I'm thinking. Check this out. Yeah. There we go. Oh, this is gonna be this just got way better than just circles. Wait, how did I do this? All right, the crescent, fill it in on the outside of the circle. All right, this is definitely not gonna be a perfect crop circle, but I'm doing the best I can, okay? All right, then I'm thinking about creating like a curve of circles that are gradually decreasing in size, and this is gonna be the really tough part because I have no real reference, no easy way to reference the rest of it, but we're gonna go for it. We're gonna see what happens. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have our crop circle tile. So I have made it, as you can see, visible whether or not you have foliage enabled. So this is what it's probably going to look like if you don't have the foliage. And this is what it's going to look like if you do have the foliage. So I'm really curious to see, we're going to spawn this thing into a world and we're going to fly over it and see what it looks like in an actual world and walk through it and stuff. This is going to be exciting. So I'm saying that it's actually a really good thing that we decided to put the different ground textures, because we would not be able to see in the thumbnail any of the crop circle design if it was just the wheat that we did the crop circle with and not the textures as well. So this is how it's rendered the thumbnail. It's a little bit splotchy, but to be honest, I did freehand this. I didn't have any exact measurements or anything. It was all just estimations. So I think it came out okay considering. So let's go ahead. Crop circle. We're going to just save this world. It's just going to be a single crop circle. That's all it's going to be. And we're going to spawn into that. All right, so here it is. I actually happen to have foliage off already. So if you're going to use this tile, make sure that you go to your graphics and you turn foliage density on very high, I think is ideal. All right, so now we are officially walking around the crop circle. So it's one of those things that when you're inside of a crop circle, you can't see that well the perspective of what you're actually doing or what you're actually inside of. So this is what it looks like from the first person perspective, which is actually kind of cool. I've never been inside of a crop circle before, but to see all the different, like just the different clearings. I'm glad that I chose the hay for the clearing of the crop circle instead of for the actual crop part, because you can't really see the ground that well when you're in the crops, but you can see it when you're here. And this looks more like flattened crops, flattened wheat anyway. All right, so let's spawn in a flyer. There we go. And now we are going to officially fly above the crop. Oh, look at the render distance is terrible. That is disappointing. The render distance is absolutely terrible on the wheat here. Look at that. That is so bad. Oh, well, at least we can actually see the shape of what it's supposed to look like. I'm disappointed that we can't render the wheat from very far away. But it looks so much better with the wheat. All right, so let's do like a low flyover. We can see it all just like fill in. Look at that. So by the looks of it, it was pretty much mandatory that I had to put in those texture differences, because otherwise this would be an almost useless tile. But as far as walking through it, it's definitely fun to see the clearings. And we're definitely be able to see this flying around the world here. So one of the things I think I might have to do is I'm gonna have to soften out the edges a little bit with the texture, so that way it'll sit in the world a little bit better. So I'm gonna hover over the middle of the crop circle here. Let me know what you guys think of the crop circle, especially considering that I free-handed it. It's not perfect, of course. You can see a little bit of measuring discrepancies. It's not completely symmetrical, but overall I think it looks pretty good considering. So let me know, what kind of other tiles do you think you want to see for the futuristic military base? One of the ones I am definitely planning on doing is an alien crash landing. So we're gonna have like a terrain tile and then a big like dirt dugout where like the spaceship crash lands. And I think we're not actually gonna have a spaceship in the tile itself, because I think we can actually get spaceships from the workshop that you guys submit and put it into the crash landing. And then we can have that be part of the world permanently. So yeah, make sure you leave a comment down below, leaving suggestions for tiles that you think would fit in the futuristic military base. What kind of tiles should the base be in? We can have outposts as well. There doesn't have to be one base build. We can have a main base. We can have different outposts at different spots, different like research stations with tents and stuff, like on like an alien crash site or something. So there's all kinds of things we can do. And what kind of alien tiles do you think we should have as well? So I'm looking forward to reading those comments. Make sure you hit the like button if you enjoyed this episode. This has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.